Hello, BookTube.
Hey, BookTube.
You'll never guess what. We got more books. We went back to the used book superstore, the place where we started, over in Burlington, Massachusetts. I think both thinking that we would get one or two things, that we would pick up one or two of the things that maybe we shouldn't have left behind. That didn't end up being true. We staggered out with a gigantic box apiece of books.
I told myself I was going to get fewer. These I have to get home, and yet there I was with a full basket. Yeah.
A full basket of books. So we'll just go through them.
Like we have been.
You want to start?
I guess I might as well start.
I don't know. I didn't look. I know a couple of things that you told me you were getting there, but I didn't see anything else.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll do these together. This is some science fiction. I thought I would grab a few of those. And I'm only familiar with one of these authors. This first one is Star Strike by Michael Gear. And I grabbed this just because the story sounded interesting. The description on the back, it sounds like it's a first contact novel. Is he good? Do you like Michael Gear?
I don't like his science fiction. He writes other things, too.
Okay.
He writes a series of books about prehistoric Americans.
Oh, wow. Very different. All right, well, we'll see what I think of it. And then this is Jeffrey Carver, The Infinity Links. I think that's what that says. I read his book, Eternity's End, and I really liked that. So when I saw him again, I figured since I don't read a ton of science fiction, and because I found an author I think I like, I think I'll...
Is that one stickered on the front and back?
Yeah, it is. So there's a couple.
He got 2 science fiction novels with beautiful women on the cover because, he's trying to reclaim his life. What do I have? I can do 2 Kennedy things. I found the trade paperback of Catching the Wind, which is a political biography of Edward Kennedy. This is the years that'll be the most interesting for me. So I'd never seen this trade paperback before, so I was happy to find it. And I also found another thing that I'd never seen a trade paperback of, which is this, Douglas Brinkley's book on Kennedy and the space race, the race to get to the moon. I got this as an advance copy, and I got the finished copy, and I reviewed it. And a lot of times I don't get the trade paperback from the publisher. They just figure, the horse has left the barn, so there's no reason to send you a book. And the reason I got this, well, I love the book. It's fantastic. But also, I'm blurbed in it with John Meacham and Lawrence Wright and Doris Kearns Goodwin, which is wonderful. That is wonderful. I wouldn't have wanted the hardcover if I found it instead of this. So there's 2 Kennedy books to start off.
Okay. Well, here's a few World War II books. This is William Shire again. I hauled his journal the other day. This is a naked hardcover of The Sinking of the Bismarck. I've read this before, but I've never seen this hardcover, so I'm glad to have a copy of that. Another Bismarck book and more naval history.
Ooh.
Well, I'll go to this one first. This is
You're trying to get invited to Vermont, aren't you? You're trying to wangle an invitation up to the old house in Vermont.
This is Nathan Miller, War at Sea, A Naval History of World War II. This volume I've never heard of before. I don't know this author either. Oh, wow.
Did he include his cadet photo?
Wow. But this just looks like a single volume overview, so I don't know if it'll be, or it won't be especially in-depth, but it still might be good reading, so I'll see how it is. And then this one is India's War, World War II and the Making of Modern South Asia. And this is another thing I'm not familiar with, but there aren't enough books on India's involvement in World War II, so apparently it can be hard to get interviews with people who fought in the war, but this will be really good.
I just realized why I didn't see these, because I went left instead of right when we walked in the door. I went to the fiction section. And that's why you grabbed these.
I went there first. I went to the back and worked my way toward the registers.
Well, I don't have mine in any kind of order here. I got a lot of mass market paperbacks. Let's do the hardcovers. A couple of bigger books. Any more hardcovers? No. All right. Well, mine aren't in any rhyme or reason. I'm going to clean this one up a lot. One thing, we went out errand shopping today. It was wonderful. I don't have a car, so I don't ever get to big box stores where you can get gigantic amounts of literally everything for dirt cheap. I don't have access to those stores, and we went today, and there was a long list, and one thing that wasn't on the list, I should have just told you so you would remember, it was alcohol wipes. They're so handy to have. I will clean this up, though. This thing is in rotten shape, but I'll clean it up without alcohol wipes. This is Man Without Breath This is Philip Kerr's Bernie Gunther. Bernie Gunther is the hangdog gumshoe here in Nazi Germany, who cares about right and wrong, even though the whole power structure is against that very idea. And the reason I got this, even though it's this kind of shape and I don't have any other, is because this is the 9th book in the series. I'm almost certain of that. And March Mystery Madness is still going on. I have been AWOL from March Mystery Madness, but it is still going on. And it's all about the 9th book in the series. That's what I'm doing. So I'll have to check. If it isn't, I want it anyway, because I like the challenge of just reviving it. And I found a Viking book. Vikings in History. I have not read this. Oh. All right. Well, somebody bought this at Wordsworth. A long, long time ago. Wordsworth was a retail bookstore in Harvard Square, and I do remember Wordsworth. There's no chance, right? There's just no. Okay, no. Okay. Somebody bought it there and then got rid of it along the way. These books came from everywhere. I love Viking books.
Okay, I'll.
Oh, you did get this
novels. Yeah, I did. I think I only get one read out of this, based on the way it feels.
He's been torturing himself all week about how little he reads. What is it called? Fiction.
Yeah, only a couple of years. So I thought I would. When we went back there, that was my plan too, is to grab more fiction. Also, I feel like I was very much exposed this week. Like each time I got all World War II and econ, so I had to branch out a little bit.
Oh, you were exposed this week.
As I was saying that, I knew I shouldn't be, and I was hoping I could glide past.
He's going to have an awful, awkward conversation with the girlfriend when he gets back.
Yeah, she's picking me up from the airport, so... Never mind. This is MMK, Shadow of the Moon. Of course, she wrote The Far Pavilions, which I love. So I figured read more. So I grabbed that. But again, it's not in the best shape, and it feels kind of stiff. So I think it's only going to be a single read. And then here is Dr. Zhivago. I do already have this in I think it's the Barnes & Noble hardback, but this, I believe, is a different translation. Or if it isn't, either way, it's a different copy that I'll read it in. Sometimes I just get in the mood to read something in a particular form factor, so I'll go to that probably next time.
All right, I'm going to lose the highbrow war here. Definitely. I'm definitely going to lose that. What else do I have here? Well, this is pretty highbrow. I found two of you. Yes. Okay. I found Bohemian Rubble, who is great. Too Loud of Solitude. This is hitting a little close to home. One of the premises of this tiny little thing is a guy who's been working at the municipal dump forever, and he saves books. He literally saves them from, and that's what this room looks like right now. I found these two things. I haven't seen these in years. These are wonderful. They're by Carol Carr. I don't know if I've read anything else by this author. They're the India Black novels. I found the first one, India Black, and the second one, India Black and the Widow of Windsor. Lovely things that I believe I wrote about. I believe I reviewed these way back when did... I think that I wrote about India Black and the Widow of Windsor. 2011, yeah, so all right. And a comic book. I found a paperback collection of Thor, the Black Galaxy Saga, with Ron Friend's artwork, where he is varying between his own style of art and just imitating Jack Kirby. I have this in a Thor Epic collection, but it's larded with a lot of stuff on either end that I don't particularly like. And here is, I never knew this volume existed, and here it is. And here he is imitating someone else on the cover. That is, but it's not exactly World War II history, but I'm going to love it.
Then this might be all for
fiction.
fiction.
Goodness.
We'll see. Yeah, this is Gordon Dixon.
The old dog, Yellow Spine paperback.
So this is Dorsai, which I've read, and I have at home in a different edition. And that's the only thing I've read from Gordon Dixon, so I thought I'd grab these and see how they are. This is Naked to the Stars. And then Soldier Asked Not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
look at that old cover.
Tactics of Mistake. And then, what is this? The Alien Way. And this is obviously quite different. And so we'll see what I make
Gordon
of those.
Dixon. I wonder if you won't like him. You picked, aside from maybe Tactics of Mistake, you picked all good ones.
Oh, are they? Okay, good. Because it sounds like he's not very consistent.
He's not very consistent, okay. No. I got a lot of science fiction, too. I guess maybe I could move to that. I got some more Jack Williamson. the other day, somewhere in this vast buying thing, I got the best of Jack Williamson, and I found a couple of his novels, The Power of Blackness and The Moon Children. I was reading a little from the best of Jack Williamson, and it reminded me how much I really like him. So maybe when I find clean copies of his paperbacks, I will just start amassing them. And I found also Joe Haldeman, a couple of his, Mind Bridge, and All My Sins Remembered, with this classic cover. I found a couple of those too. I haven't read Mind Bridge in forever. All My Sins Remembered I'm fairly familiar with, but I'll go back to both of them. I think that's it for...
Okay, with these two next, I suppose. This is The Bunker, Hitler's Last Days and Suicide, the first eyewitness account, it says, by James P. O'Neill. And for this, I think he talked to something like 50 or 55 eyewitnesses. So, no Hitler stuck out of the bunker, didn't kill himself stories when you have that many eyewitnesses. But this is a old and a bit of a classic volume. I used to have a copy years ago, but I haven't seen that in a long time.
Why do I know the name James O'Donnell?
I don't know anything else beyond that. I'm not sure if it says. And then here, this is Robert Service. He's fantastic. This is really his biography of Lenin. I haven't read this. I've read his Stalin and Trotsky biographies, but I missed this one. And then the only other Lenin biography I've read is the... who wrote the one with the blue cover? Isn't it Frederick something? Sebastian, is that right? Anyway, I'm blanking on the name. That sounds maybe right. It should be coming. But there is another Lenin biography that came out in 2019 or something like that I've read. But not this one, so it'll be good. Robert Service is fantastic.
It's a lot of science fiction here. I found two Roger Zelazny's. Today We Choose Faces, which I really liked. I've never seen it with this cover, but I'm due to reread a lot of Zelazny anyway. And also, a couple of booktubers are reading. They've been talking about the Amber series, the Zelazny's epic collection of novels. I looked everywhere, in all the places that we've been this week, for the big trade paperback of the books of Amber. Could not find it. So I thought, I'll settle for mass market paperbacks of all of them, but they've had a million editions, and the artwork that's most common in the mass market paperbacks I don't like. They had every volume. At the used book superstore today, they had every volume of the Amber books with the artwork that I don't like. But I found the first one, Nine Princes in Amber, with artwork that I do like. With Amber being the real world. Amber is the essential real world, and all other worlds, including ours, are just imperfect refractions of the real world. So if the cool kids are talking about Amber, then I will talk about Amber. And I found another copy, a perfect condition copy of Thrice Upon a Time by James Hogan. Look at that computer. I'm sure that somewhere in this room right now is that computer that David is updating and rebooting.
Yeah. Then here I have Bruce Catton. This is his Army of the Potomac trilogy. And what is this? Doubleday? These all Doubleday editions. They're not all that interesting in the covers, but they are uniform, which I guess appeals to me. I always tell myself I'm going to sit down and one day become a Civil War guy, and I just haven't. I have a hard time getting out of World War II. There's always more to read, but
it's hard
maybe
to get out of
this
World
year.
War II.
Yeah, maybe this year is the year I'll start.
Do I have more science fiction? Yes, I do. I have some more science fiction. I found A.E. Van Vogt, Destination Universe, which I love. Never seen it with this cover, but this will work perfectly well for Rocket Summer. I found Wasp by Eric Frank Russell. I do not believe I have ever read this. What's it called? War must be won or lost, and the Terran agitator was the sting to cripple the invincibility of the Syrian Empire. No idea. No idea. And Joan Vinge. I found Snow Queen. Her terrific novel. These science fiction stuff all came from the same person. They all have a very musty smell. They've all got a little patina of light dust and dirt on them. They're all going to need to be cleaned. But I was shown shelf after shelf of old mass market science fiction, so I grabbed them.
Okay, this is God. Montaigne, The Complete Works.
You act like you don't have to mail these things. Look at the size of this.
Yeah, this is huge. I don't know what this clocks in at. Yeah, over 1,000 pages, 1,100 pages. There was another volume of Montaigne there, and I was humming and hawing over it the first time, and then I saw it again this time, and I kept thinking about it, and I didn't go for it. But then I saw this, which was in better shape than the other volume I was considering. I don't know if this was out on Sunday when we initially went, but I don't think it was, so I'm glad I waited and saw this. I've only gone through his essays before. I've never done the travel journals or the letters, so
And
those
this
will be
also
new
has
to me.
dust on it, yes? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit. But it's otherwise in really good shape.
Oh, no, you're kidding me. We each got a Washington biography. We're wearing matching shirts, and we finish each other's sentences.
We finish each other's sandwiches.
I got 2 biographies. One is a battered old mass
That's
market
the one I was
paperback.
looking for when I saw this. Oh, my
The
God.
Indispensable Man. This is... Fletcher did a multi-volume life, and then he bridged it to this, and it did really well. And also the autobiography of Agatha Christie, which I did not know existed as a mass market paperback. I had no idea. I have it as a trade paperback. But here you've got, I guess that stylish young woman is Christie, and you've got Poirot and Miss Marple on the cover there as well.
Okay, well, I'll just do my Washington one next.
We
This
each-
is the Freeman.
Oh my God.
This is the abridgment.
Yes,
Is it a
he each got a
trilogy?
1-volume
3-volume?
abridgment
Yeah.
of a multi-volume Washington biography.
But that's the one I was looking for. Either way, I'm happy to have this. So that's funny.
I found another Jane Langton. These are very sedate, cozy murder mysteries, and they are full of her own artwork. This one, I do not call it to mind. When I think about a lot of hers, I immediately call it to mind signature details or the plot. I don't recall this to mind. It's possible that I have not read this. That would be amazing, but it might be true. I found a Barbara Cartland. There were plenty there, but I only got one set in Venice. The Golden Gondola. She is so she's so florid and over-trying. But so I don't have her at all, but I found a romance for a set in Venice. We'll see. She probably got it all out of a guidebook.
All right, this is my last volume.
Look at the size of it.
Yeah, but it's...
Oh.
I don't know. This is A Call to Arms by Murray Klein, Mobilizing America for World War II. Another volume, I've never seen this before. I don't know anything about this. A volume that I go back to all the time, and this covers a lot of Lend-Lease too, is more The New Dealer's War, which I really love. So I don't know how much of this is also going to be Lend-Lease and things like that, but this will be a great volume to have. So that's my last book.
I got a little collection of poetry. Just a little treasury of poetry that has a paperback Booksmith. Books keep the magic alive. The old, some of you will remember the paperback Booksmith. I love them. Their bookmarks are still ubiquitous. 35 years after the last store closed. And my find of the day was Andrew Oford doing Cormac McCart. I have one of these, and I thought, I got one of these last year and thought, I'm never going to see any of them again. I found all of them today. So, Deathbirds Fly, The Mists of Doom, and my favorite, Sword of the Gale. With the very cover that I read it in the first time. When these came out, I gobbled these up. See the provocative header, mightier than Conan. The answer's no. But when did this come out? 1975. So Mists of Doom, Tower of Death, When Deathbirds Fly, Tigers of the Sea, Sword of the Gale, The Undying Wizard, The Sign of the Moonbow. Oh, there's more. I have Sign of the Moonbow, but there are a couple of others that I don't have. Well, there were no more there, so I found a whole bunch of Cormac McCart. He was a secondary Robert E. Howard character that Andrew Oford decided to just run with. So these are, I believe, I mean, Michael K. Vaughan would be able to tell me if I'm wrong. I believe that these things are the only pastiche novels of Cormac McCart. There's plenty for Conan and some for Red Sonja, but I don't think that there are any others. I don't think anyone ever did this character other than Andrew Oford. And he's terrific. He's no Carl Edward Wagner, but he's terrific. And there you go. This was not a little cleanup job.
No, this
was
wasn't
a
going back for
gigantic
odds and
book haul.
ends. Yeah, this was huge. And
But-
I think that's it.
But that's
though, right?
it. There
Yeah,
aren't
I
going to
think
be
we're
any
done.
more book hauls.
Yeah.
And neither one of us is
Ever.
ever going to buy a secondhand book again. Tomorrow Tomorrow's signature event involves no riding around. Tomorrow's signature event is something as perverse as it is, when I know that all of you love book hauls, what we're going to do tomorrow, I think more of you would actually want to see it.
I wonder if we could do like a time lapse.
I don't know how to do edits. What I'm talking about here, of course, is rearranging books. not the other thing. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah. Just before I leave, I'll do a little hard labor for you, and then. Yeah.
I was going to say also, the curse of the Irish would apply. You wouldn't need a time lapse.
No.
It's a really quick shutter speed. That's all it would be. But no, it's not that. Instead, it's rearranging books. We'll start small and then see where it leads. But I would love that. I would absolutely. My books are not in a good shape, and I have the luxury of a guest who actually finds that great, who actually wants to do that. I remember last night we were talking about it, just banding back and forth the possibility, and I was thinking, it's a lot of work. It's moving books all over the place, and you just blurted out, "Mind if I do it myself?" If you've got a guest who's saying that, you've got to take advantage of it. So I will. Maybe the books will feel a little less chaotic.
It's not going to be worse than it is.
Maybe we can film it. Maybe. That would be fun. But anyway, this is certainly the last book haul of the week. So there you go.
I need 3 things. I need some vegetables. I need my girlfriend. And I need another bookcase at home, I think. I'm going to go home into my apartment and see boxes that I mailed to myself, which is always fun, in a way. It's obscene that I'm going to use book shopping and then paying for postage to go back home, but it's still so much fun. And then getting home off the plane and seeing boxes of books sitting there is fun.
Provincetown didn't meet all your needs? It's a
like
mecca.
I said, I need my girlfriend.
She's going to be saying, something seems different about you.
I'm not coming back to BookTube after this.
Well, we're going to wrap this up for now, but I will be back. We will be back.
Yeah.
I will see you then.
Thanks, BookTube.
Thank you, BookTube.